What's going on in Dallas? Man, I get a lot of email from Dallas, and most of it takes this tone. Colin, we don't tolerate that kind of crap down here. We all carry guns. Anybody tries that black on white crime, black mob violence with me or my wife, we're going to take our gun out and shoot them. I've received that version, some version of that letter, hundreds of times. Then come a couple of stories from this week of black on white crime in Dallas. Nasty business. It turns out it's been happening there for a long time. Man, I would hate to think Dallas is turning into another Seattle, another Portland, Oregon, another Denver, where all this civic pride requires them to do everything they can to ignore, deny, encourage, condone, and even lie about black mob violence and black on white crime. Take a look.
And Dan, Dallas police say they need help finding this guy. They had released some surveillance video that showed a man using a woman's stolen credit card just hours, less than 2 hours, really, since she had been carjacked. Take a look at this video here and see if it looks like somebody that you may know. Police say that he was in her stolen BMW when he walked back to a Hummer that was waiting in line behind him at a McDonald's drive-thru at 2215 South Buckner, less than 2 hours after the carjacking. Now, he casually leans into the window, talks to the driver as if the two knew each other. He's wearing a distinctive camouflage hat and also a pink shirt or a sweatshirt. They'd also like to talk to the driver of that Hummer.
We'd love to know who that individual was, to see what, if any, connection there was. It appeared that that person was at least comfortable enough to allow that suspect to lean in the open window.
Just hours before that video was taken, about a week ago, 37-year-old Sarah Hoff was on her way back from the grocery store. She was sitting in her car in the 8th floor of the parking garage at 1309 Main Street. It's also known as the Davis Building. Well, police say two suspects walked up on either side of that car. One opened up the driver's side door. The other guy opened up the passenger side door. They demanded her phone. They demanded her purse and took her car. They beat her up very badly.
Good evening, I'm Therese Tinsley. That victim with her husband and her toddler when the attack happened. Two men and a woman ambushed her, then pepper sprayed her. First on Fox 4 News at 10, Zahid Arab, live at North Park Center with that mother's terrifying story.
Well, Carice, around 3:30 in the afternoon outside a upscale mall like North Park, the victim says her guard was down. But in a matter of seconds, as she walked to a covered parking garage outside Macy's, the mother realized safety isn't a guarantee anywhere.
My husband put my daughter into the car, and I had folded her stroller up, and I was going to put it into my trunk. And I was putting it into my trunk, and as I turned around, I was met with a face full of pepper spray. It was in my eyes, in my mouth, it got into my ears, and then I just got repeated blows to my head, all over my head and my face, and someone was pulling at my hair. My hair was up in a ponytail, and by the end of the altercation, my hair was ripped out in pieces on the ground, and I was able to finally choke out help, and my husband was able to get out of the car, and he tried to get the attackers off of me, but he was only able to take one to the ground.
As the suspects yelled, "Give up your purse," Brittany Arterberry says two of them tried throwing her into the back of their older model Buick as she was halfway in. And she was halfway in when the 28-year-old says her husband managed to grab her leg and pull her out of the back seat as three suspects sped off. Now, the victim says another shopper called 911 as she ran inside Macy's to try and wash that pepper spray out of her eyes, but the water didn't work. Arterberry says mall security told her there aren't cameras in the parking garage.
What if I would have been alone? My daughter wouldn't have a mother right now, and my husband would not have a wife. He would be widowed.
You can see what's kind of getting to you right now.
It's just the fact that my life could have been snuffed out so quickly over a Michael Kors purse and an iPad and a couple of debit cards. And someone would risk the rest of their life and mine for material objects.
That's not right.
It isn't right, and it makes people scared to go out. I don't want to go to a mall, and I love to shop.
According to Dallas police records, this is the third robbery in a North Park parking garage since December 23rd. On that day, a 22-year-old man was robbed at gunpoint by multiple suspects. And on January 16th, not too long ago, a 61-year-old woman was pushed to the ground and robbed by one suspect. Now, all three suspects in this case got away with only the victim's husband's cell phone. The Arterberries tell me they're just thankful that these attackers didn't touch their 3-year-old daughter, Abigail, who was in a car seat the whole time. Clarice?
Zahid, was she able to give police a description?
She was. She describes these three attackers as all three African American, wearing hoodies and sweats that covered their face. Now, the victim describes one man to be in his early to mid-30s, about 6'2", 200 pounds. She says the other two looked like they were in their mid-20s. She remembers the woman being light-skinned with short hair and a nasally voice. Now, once again, they got away in a gray, older model Buick. Clarice, we also did reach out to property management to see if there's any sort of response or reaction to what happened here early this afternoon, but so far, we have not heard back.
Then the next day, the TV station came out and said, "Oh yeah, that's been happening here a long time. We're getting reports from other people who said that happened to them in the same mall." Then if you go back a few months before that, you get an episode of large-scale black mob violence at the North Park Mall in Dallas. 20 to 40 black people came upon a couple of white kids and beat the hell out of them. How did we miss that? And then not too distant from that, another shopper, some more shoppers at the same mall underwent the same treatment with the mace and the robbery, the assault. So I don't know what's going on in Dallas. I know it's a great town. The people really love their town. They love their Cowboys. How about them boys? Place where there's lots of rugged people there. I admire that, as we all should. But even in a rugged place like Dallas, it's probably worth remembering at least one thing. No matter how rugged you are, don't make the black kids angry.